Shanasaneva was a young boy with an insatiable fascination for crystals and stones, a passion undoubtedly influenced by his mother, an archaeologist. On one fateful day, instead of attending his own birthday party, Shun decided to pay a visit to his father's office. Little did he know that this decision would lead him down a path of adventure and discovery that he could never have imagined. Upon entering his father's office, Shun's eyes were immediately drawn to a peculiar sight. A crystal encased in a glass container, seemingly protected from the outside world. Intrigued by its beauty and glow, Shun couldn't resist the urge to touch it. As soon as his fingers made contact with the crystal, a blinding light engulfed him, and before he knew it, a portal materialized right before his eyes. Compelled by his insatiable curiosity, Shun extended his hand towards the portal, causing his hand to vanish into thin air as he stepped through. In a matter of seconds, he found himself in a completely different world, a world unknown to him until that moment. It was there that he encountered Emilio, a prince who had been imprisoned by his own father, the king. Startled by Shun's sudden appearance, Emilio was taken aback, especially considering his own failed attempt to assassinate the king. Intrigued by Shun's arrival, Emilio couldn't help but inquire about how he had ended up in this mysterious new world. However, their conversation was abruptly cut short by the sound of approaching guards who had been stationed at the prison. In a twist of fate, Shun's chest emitted a luminous blue light, summoning a weapon known as a warp relic. With this newfound weapon in his hand, Shun instinctively defended himself, defeating the guards and shattering the prison bars that had confined Emilio. Recognizing the opportunity for escape, Emilio wasted no time in seizing the moment and fled the castle alongside Shun. As they embarked on their journey, Emilio took it upon himself to enlighten Shun about the realm they were in, a hidden world called Indora, nestled deep beneath the Earth's surface. Together, they would navigate this unfamiliar terrain, encountering both allies and adversaries along the way. Their travels led them to cross paths with Azuzan, a humanoid creature known as Eye-Builder, who served as a guard to the king's throne. Eye-Builder attacked them without hesitation, triggering a fierce battle that tested their skills and determination. During the heat of the fight, Emilio's warp relic was unexpectedly knocked out of his hands and vanished from sight. Despite their valiant efforts, Shun and Emilio found themselves overpowered by Eye-Builder, and the ensuing struggle sent both of them plunging into the depths of the water. As they emerged from the encounter, they were greeted by Alicia, a dear friend of Emilio, and her adorable baby dragon. Together, they continued their journey, and it was during this time that Shun made a remarkable discovery. He learned that the sun in Indora was not the familiar celestial body he had known his entire life, but rather a colossal crystal suspended in the sky, radiating a captivating luminosity. Emilio guided them to a safe haven, where he revealed his plan to overthrow the tyrannical king and seek vengeance for his father's untimely demise. While traversing the lands of Indora, they unexpectedly encountered a formidable wild boar. Alicia's dragon, Valerian, valiantly grew in size to defend them from the beast's ferocity. However, the boar proved to be a formidable opponent, overwhelming Emilio with its sheer strength. Just as it charged towards Shun and Alicia, Shun's warp relic materialized once again, granting him the power to fight back. Together, they engaged in a relentless struggle, but their efforts were hindered when Shun and Alicia fell victim to a concealed net trap lurking beneath their feet. Emilio, fueled by his unwavering determination to protect them, activated another booby trap with his foot, ultimately leading to the boar's demise and their salvation. In the aftermath of their encounter, Pascal, a familiar acquaintance of Emilio and Alicia, made his presence known. He extended an invitation for them to seek refuge and rest within his abode. There, Pascal cooked the boar they had just defeated, providing sustenance for the group. In the midst of their reprieve, Pascal took the time to enlighten Shun about the nature of Indora and shed light on the possibility of finding a way back to his own world, an idea that became Shun's primary objective. However, their respite was short-lived as the relentless royal guards caught up to them, launching an attack on Pascal's hideout. Together, the trio and Pascal employed a flying device as their means of escape, desperately searching for another place of refuge. During their temporary sanctuary, Emilio confided in Shun, revealing his plan to avenge his father's murder by killing the king. Their discussions unfolded as they embarked on a hunting expedition, their voices carrying through the darkness of the night. They contemplated Emilio's search for a resistance group that could aid him in his quest. Their plan was to execute their mission under the cloak of darkness, harnessing the element of surprise. As Alicia succumbed to exhaustion and fell asleep, Emilio woke Shun from his slumber, and they prepared to depart according to their carefully crafted plan. Emilio led Shun to a cliff overlooking their surroundings, and it was there that they spotted a camp inhabited by a resistance group, a gathering of individuals who opposed the tyrannical reign of the king. As they exchanged thoughts and speculations about the identity and motives of these individuals, the group approached them. Introduced as the Ignots, they expressed their willingness to reinforce Emilio's cause and join forces in overthrowing their shared enemy. Emilio fervently requested their alliance, united by the common goal of dethroning the king. Demetrio, the leader of the Ignots, took charge, leading Emilio and Shun to their camp base. However, his initial reception was marked by reservations about Emilio's seemingly vague plan beyond the act of regicide. These concerns were soon put to the test as Emilio summoned his warp relic, engaging Demetrio in combat. To everyone's surprise, Demetrio skillfully blocked Emilio's attack with nothing more than an ordinary blade lacking a warp relic of his own. Witnessing Emilio's predicament, Shun instinctively summoned his warp relic to defend his newfound ally. In an unexpected turn of events, Demetrio swiftly retaliated by hurling a blade attached to a rope, which snared Shun's leg, hoisting him up into the branches of a nearby tree. Initially unyielding in his refusal to assist Emilio in his quest for revenge, Demetrio was eventually swayed by Shun's unwavering conviction. Shun implored Demetrio to grant Emilio the opportunity to prove himself worthy of the throne through the act of regicide, an act that would determine his worthiness as a ruler. Convinced by Shun's persuasive plea, Demetrio acquiesced, and Emilio and Shun joined the ranks of the resistance, bound together by their shared aspirations. Within the confines of the Ignots camp, Felix, a member of their group, assumed the responsibility of overseeing Shun's training. Recognizing the potential within Shun and the strength of his warp relic, Felix dedicated himself to honing Shun's combat skills and teaching him the ways of Endora. Shun's days were filled with rigorous training, pushing his physical and mental limits as he learned the intricacies of battle and the history of the resistance against the king's tyranny. As weeks turned into months, Shun's progress was remarkable. His abilities with the warp relic grew, and he mastered various techniques that would prove vital in their upcoming confrontation with the king. Alongside Emilio and the other members of the Ignots, Shun became an integral part of the resistance, his determination and unwavering spirit inspiring those around him. As the day of their final assault on the king's stronghold approached, Shun couldn't help but feel a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The weight of their mission bore down on him, but he drew strength from his companions and the knowledge that they were fighting for a just cause. Emilio, too, had transformed during their time with the Ignots, embracing his role as a leader and earning the respect and loyalty of his fellow rebels. The fateful day arrived, and the resistance launched their attack on the king's fortress. The battle was fierce, with the king's elite guards putting up a formidable defense. Shun fought with all his might, utilizing his warp relic to its full potential, unleashing devastating attacks that struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. The power within him resonated with the crystal-laden sky of Endora, amplifying his abilities to unimaginable levels. Emilio, driven by his desire for justice and to reclaim his birthright, faced the king in a climactic showdown. Their swords clashed, and the echoes of their duel reverberated through the halls of the fortress. Shun, in a display of his newfound strength, joined the fray, using his warp relic to provide support to Emilio. Together, they fought valiantly, their determination and unity posing a formidable challenge to the king's rule. In a final decisive blow, Emilio struck down the king, ending his tyrannical reign. The fortress fell into chaos, but amidst the turmoil, a newfound sense of hope and freedom emerged. The people of Endora, who had long suffered under the king's oppressive rule, celebrated their liberation and looked towards a brighter future. With the king defeated, Emilio assumed his rightful place as the new ruler of Endora, aided by the support and guidance of his loyal companions, including Shun. As a symbol of their victory and unity, Emilio proclaimed that the crystal in the sky, the source of Endora's radiant light, would forever shine as a beacon of peace and harmony. In the aftermath of the battle, Shun found himself at a crossroads. Endora had become a second home to him, and the friends he made during his journey had become like family. Despite the dangers and uncertainties he faced, Shun had grown and thrived in this new world. However, deep down, he couldn't ignore the yearning to return to his own world, to reunite with his family and share the incredible experiences he had lived through. Emilio, understanding Shun's desire, promised to support him in his quest to find a way back. Using the resources and knowledge of Endora, they embarked on a new adventure, searching for a way to open a portal that would lead Shun back to his world. As they delved into ancient texts and consulted wise sages, they discovered ancient rituals and artifacts that held the key to unlocking the gateway between worlds. Their journey took them to the far corners of Endora, encountering mythical creatures, formidable challenges, and unraveling ancient mysteries. With Emilio and the Ignots by his side, Shun remained steadfast in his determination to return home while cherishing the bonds he had formed with his newfound friends. And so their quest for a way back to Shun's world continues as they traverse the enchanting and treacherous lands of Endora, seeking answers and overcoming obstacles together. Along the way, they discover more about themselves, their strengths, and the power of friendship. Their adventures shape them, test their resolve, and ultimately lead them to an extraordinary conclusion, an outcome that will forever change both Indora and Shun's life.